That was weird. I don't know what happened, but it doesn't matter. What's good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Mutana, and welcome to a special edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. This is not the main show. The main show was yesterday at 5 o'clock Pacific, but today I'm going live because we got big news. Big news coming out. Breaking news. John Harbaugh is officially the head coach of the New York Football Giants. Ian Rappaport has tweeted it out, and Ian Rappaport is as trustworthy as he is on the ownership level because he gets all his information from the ownerships and GMs mostly. Ian Rappaport tweets out, the Giants and new head coach John Harbaugh have agreed upon and finalized a 5-year deal for Harbaugh to be the new head coach per the insiders. Done and done. First opening filled. So it's a done deal. We have a new man in New York. And all I have to say is, buddy, you better be good all right off the bat, because all this hoopla over you means that you're going to be Andy Reid in Kansas City type stuff. And Andy Reid, when he went to Kansas City, my bad, sorry, I have Adelia's here with me right here. Sorry about that.
I'm just here basically for Ferris to bounce stuff off of and to kind of like calm things down. We got some comments already. Pay the bill saying, I'm so sorry, brother Ferris.
That's fine.
Big Reg saying, what's up, everybody? How you doing, Reg?
So,
yeah, Ferris, talk to me about how you're feeling about this.
Okay. The way they fielded him, the way they courted him, made it seem like he's the second coming of Jesus.
Yeah.
Basically. We're basically supposed to be getting like what Andy Reid is. Like, so if we're doing all this stuff for John Harbaugh, right? I expect playoffs next year.
Yeah.
I expect playoffs next year because this year there were a bunch of games, Adelia, a bunch of games. What's up, Davon? A bunch of games where we were in and we should have won.
Including against my Broncos.
The Denver game. We gave up 33 points in the Denver game. 30 in one quarter. In one quarter, we gave up 33 points. We were in that game. We should have beaten Dallas week 2 with Russell Wilson. We should have beaten them. We should have beaten Chicago. We committed multiple turnovers against New Orleans. That's a player issue, not a coaching issue. So there's that. So I expect that game should be a victory next year. So that's 3 victories already. Yeah. On top of the 4 we already have. So that's 7 wins already. That's already 7 wins. We should beat the Commanders. We should have beaten them. So that's 2 more wins. That's 9. So we're knocking on the doorstep of a playoff spot. Yeah. And then you may win a game that you shouldn't win here and there. So that's probably 10 wins, 10, 11 wins. The way they gave him that much power within these negotiations, I expect playoffs. Yeah. That's what I expect. And here's the thing too. Shout out to Dan Duggan. Tidbit within the negotiation that we found out this morning, actually 7 hours ago. John Harbaugh did not report to the GM in Baltimore. He directly talked to Steve Bisciotti, the owner. So EDC had no power over John Harbaugh whatsoever. So that means John Harbaugh had a lot of influence in Baltimore. That means he got his guys in there. And so he's going to have a lot of influence. One thing the New York Giants don't do is that's not the way they operate. There's a chain of command. Coach to GM, GM to owner. That's how they are. But John Harbaugh says, that's not how I do things. I don't care about the GM. I'm John Harbaugh.
As Davon said, we knew it would take desperation to meet the demands of this dictator.
Yes. We're desperate. We're desperate. 5 years. We gave that man 5 years. He's 63 years old.
Yep.
He's 63. At the end of his deal, he's 68. He's almost 70 years old.
Yeah.
What does he do? What does he do? You have these psychopaths on Twitter talking about they should give him credit for Lamar's development. Have you been watching games? So apparently, Adelia, a lot of slander, a lot of slander for Lamar Jackson after they fired John Harbaugh.
Absolutely.
So apparently, Adelia, we literally just saw a quarterback commit 3 turnovers in a game.
Yep.
3, and still win the game. Yep. But Lamar Jackson throws the first quarter interception, it's look how trash he is.
Mm-hmm.
He brought his people in because he had power in Baltimore, and look what his people did. His people did nothing.
Yeah.
He wants to bring his offensive line coach that is coached one of the worst offensive lines last year because his head coach was too stubborn to bench their horrible guards.
Yeah.
There were moments where Lamar Jackson was running for his life. In the Pittsburgh game, week 18, Adelia, there's a moment where Lamar Jackson is literally, he hikes the ball, and the Pittsburgh defenders are literally right in his face.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guards blocked nobody.
Yeah.
And Lamar Jackson had to literally evade two people by splitting them and throwing a deep ball because he doesn't know how to pick people to coach. Literally. The offensive line has been the worst part of the New York Giants for the past 10 years, and we fixed it. We fixed it. We fixed it. And he wants to bring his horrible, shitty coach and his probably horrible, shitty players with him. The reason our offensive line wasn't as good as it's supposed to be because one of our guards is almost 40. Shout out to Greg Van Roten. He's like 35. I'm speaking hyperbolically. He's not almost.
You are, yeah.
But in football years, you basically he's 35.
Yeah.
We have a franchise tone in left tackle, but overall, Jermaine Illuminor Adelia is a free agent, so we don't know if we're going to re-sign him. Because if we trust John Harbaugh to build this roster, he'll probably bring his buddy Daniel Falele with him, who's not good.
Oh boy,
he's not good, and Voorhees ain't good. And here's the thing too: Giants fans are talking about like, "Hey, we'll take Tyler Linderbaum from them." Are y'all stupid? You think Baltimore's gonna let one of the best centers in the league to walk out their door? The reason they didn't franchise tag him or get his option is that because offensive line is the money's a little different. It's the average of the offensive line. He would be getting like I think it's $25 million. So, but most centers get $20 million. So they declined it. They're going to re-sign him. So Giants.
Okay, Ferris.
What?
Calm down. Let's read some of these comments because we got.
Okay, let's read some of these comments.
Jay, he is loyal, faithful, and willing to burn the stadium and practice facilities down if said relationship is tried. Just Allo in the chat saying, "What's up, Ferris? I hope this move works out for you guys." Pay the bills. His horrible guards that he handpicked by the by.
By the way, I think he meant.
Oh, by the way. Davon says desperation with a side of nepotism has no logic. Absolutely. Reg, Jay, didn't I tell you I didn't think EDC had any power in Baltimore? Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Pay the bills. Falele headed to Big Blue? Possibly. Davon, is there truth to the Warhop interview?
Apparently there is. It's by SI Now. How trustworthy do you think Sports Illustrated is nowadays? They reported it.
Not the way that they used to be.
Not the way they used to.
They still have some credibility. Jay saying nobody thought he had power, Reg, with those egregious moves on the O-line, but now we can possibly see EDC cook if he can. Yeah. I didn't know all that much about John Harbaugh and the Ravens and all of that until this past season. Well, this current season, when I started working with the guys over at Lunch Break Hot Take and Hendo at the Rogue Pod. And I totally understand why you're upset now. I mean, like, because the things that they were saying, like, were happening, I would see on the games that I was watching while I was working, and it was like, yeah, they're not good. And you and I have this conversation a lot, Ferris, about how nepotism is a horrible thing. And like Davon said, desperation with a side of nepotism, no logic. I have never understood since I started working for LBHT and Hendo why people think he's a good coach.
Yeah, because here's the thing, man. Like a lot of Giants fans are talking about the culture he's going to bring. What culture?
Yeah, what culture?
What culture?
You said something interesting. I think it was on the show last night, or maybe it was in Discord afterwards. You can join our Discord if you want. It's there's a link in the description below, or !Discord if you're watching on Twitch. It's free. We have good conversations in there. That you said that. God, just left my head. I just left my head.
What?
What I was gonna say. It just.
No.
So we'll go to Just Aloe's comment, which says Sports Illustrated reported that Lamar preferred Clint Kubiak when that was a joke post someone made on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
Sports Illustrated is not the best place anymore. Dead Taker 111 saying great signing by the Giants.
We'll see, because the way they talked to him, Chris Mara took over the negotiations. He took over. They've been negotiating. Chris has been negotiating for the past this latter part of the negotiations, and apparently John Harbaugh has asked for wholesale changes of operations, which basically means I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to have power. I'm going to do what I want. So Joe Shane, the reason I think he has no problem with Joe Shane staying as the GM is that he's not going to be bossed around by Joe Shane.
Joe Shane, yeah.
It's like Joe Shane means nothing to him. It's like EDC means nothing. Because here's the thing, too, about what's weird in Baltimore, right? Because EDC, people forget, EDC has been in Baltimore for 20 years. He was Ozzie Newsome's right-hand man. And then when Ozzie retired, supposedly, even though he's still working for the organization, EDC then became the GM. But
I just thought of what I was going to say.
Okay, hit it.
You said culture isn't made by the coach, it's made by the players.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah. Just Aloe, don't worry about it. We can interpret. Dude, it's fine.
Dude, Just Aloe, dude. I have typos when I talk, so it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's
you should
fine,
see some
bro.
of the messages Ferris sends me. I'm like,
yeah. I forget words and all that stuff. Because here's the thing, bro. Like, here's the thing, right? If the players don't buy in to what you're selling, your culture means nothing.
Yeah.
It means nothing. So the culture is always built by the players. He walked into Baltimore in 2008 as a spectator, a culture that was already been set by Brian Billick, by Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Haloti Nada, Terrell Suggs. They had already set the culture, the way they operate.
Right.
And then when all those guys left, he had to build his own culture. This Baltimore Ravens, rough and tumble culture that they've had for years disappeared. Because Baltimore Ravens, they were bullied repeatedly these past couple years. Adelia, Lamar Jackson's first MVP season. They're 14-2. They have a first round bye. They're against the Tennessee Titans. First game. Derrick Henry punches them in the face.
Yeah.
They lost to Ryan Tannehill. And basically Derrick Henry. Because he punched him in the face. But here's the thing too. If this was 2006, when Ray Lewis was there, Ray Lewis literally admitted on camera that he enjoyed hunting Eddie George.
Okay.
So where was that guy trying to do that to Derrick Henry? That guy didn't exist.
Yeah.
That culture.
Dead Taker saying Giants have a culture right now, young and reckless.
Okay. Yeah, we're young. I wouldn't, reckless, I guess.
Pay the bill says Harbs just gets rid of players that don't buy into his culture. Ed Reed went to Houston rather than carrying on playing for Harbs.
Yeah, he left because he wanted to leave. He didn't even like being in Houston. He wanted to stay in Baltimore, but he couldn't deal with that. You know, people don't talk about the Ed Reed years in New York and Houston. He just left to leave. He just left to leave, and then he stopped caring. Then his career, then he retired a couple years later. Yeah, the Giants have no culture. They're not even young and reckless. I think the reckless part probably is because their QB throws his body around, but no one else is really that reckless.
Scatterboo kind of is.
Well, he's a running back, so you kind of want them to be a little reckless. He plays running back. Running back, you're like, yeah, it is what it is. But the way $20 million, Adelia, $20 million.
That's insane.
5 years, $20 million. That's 100. They're giving that man $100 million.
Yeah.
I better see the playoffs next year.
Yeah.
We better be in the playoffs. That's like no ifs, ands, or buts. We should be a playoff team next year.
Yep.
And you know what? You're going to have power to draft players and set up this roster. Then, okay, fine, good. Let's see it. Because here's the thing. This roster sucks. Yes. This roster sucks. They have no receivers because their star receiver is injured right now. So I don't count Malik Neighbors. He's injured. So he doesn't count. Your wide receiver 2, Darius Slayton, he can't catch. Your third wide receiver is 5'8". Your fourth wide receiver is Isaiah Hodgins, who's a big body receiver. He doesn't separate well. He's just a big body receiver. He can beat third corners, fourth corners, a safety here and there. Okay. Your running back room is underwhelming. It's underwhelming. You don't have Derrick Henry. You have Tyrone Tracy Jr. and Cam Scatterboo. And neither one of them are better than Derrick Henry at 33 years old. That's a fact. Okay? Yeah. Now let's look at your defense. Kyle Hamilton ain't there. Your safeties stink. Yeah. Cornerbacks stink. Our cornerbacks stink. Marlon Humphrey is better than our cornerbacks, and Marlon Humphrey ain't good no more. That's all that has to tell you. That's all that has to tell you.
Jay saying, so Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate is going to be on this team?
Yeah, they should be. But we don't know. He could draft it, if we re-sign Jermaine Illuminor, we don't have to draft tackle at 5. But if we don't sign Jermaine Illuminor, we may have to draft a tackle at 5. And that completely washes away the wide receiver choice. If they re-sign him or not. We'll see. This defensive lines is a disappointment. Apparently, they didn't know how to figure out to have 3 pass rushers. See, we're going to go linebacker. Linebacker, which is another position that we stink. We stink. Another position we stink.
Jeremy saying, welcome to the best division in football, John.
That's a stretch.
Yeah.
That's a stretch. Historically, yeah, but that's a stretch now. We're the only division that have all 4 members have at least 2 Super Bowls. Multiple. The only division. But this hasn't been a good division in like 10 years. One year, a 6-10 New York Giants team almost won the division.
Yeah.
That's all you have to know.
Yeah.
That's all you have to know.
Jay says Reese isn't falling that far unless he fucks up the combine, pro day, and meetings that bad.
Well, it's all about the people in front of us. What do they want? Yeah. Raiders are going quarterback. So Fernando Mendoza is going to Vegas. And then what are the Jets doing? What are the Jets doing? We don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. Arizona, what do they need? Yeah. I believe all the bad ones will.
Yeah, with the number of free agents in Baltimore, I wonder who follows Harbs. I think some of them will. I think others won't.
Why would Isaiah Likely come? Isaiah Likely literally, Jets do something dumb, get Carson Beck, probably. Why not?
It's the Jets. You should expect them to do something dumb.
What is it? Isaiah Likely. Why would he follow John?
Yeah.
You guys gave Mark Andrews the money over me. You didn't play me that much. Why would I follow you? I'll go somewhere else. Who needs a tight end? Denver needs tight ends. Our tight ends stink. Our starting tight end can't catch. Easy balls, Adelia. Literally, Adelia. Theo Johnson. It was like a 3-yard. It was like a 5-yard like curl. He sat near the first down. He's wide open. Boom. Just does not catch it. Can't catch. He can't catch a. He can't catch a. He was literally right here, Adelia. Wide open. He can't catch it. Daniel Bellinger is too slow to create that much separation, but he catches everything. But he lacks some athleticism. Chris Manhurts is a blocking tight end. Every time he's in the game, we're blocking. Pat Ricard. Why do we need a fullback?
Yeah. As Dead Taker says, the fullback's going to be a Giant. I don't know his name.
Pat Ricard. It's Pat Ricard.
Jay saying y'all just drafted
Fidoni. Thomas Fidoni the second.
Okay.
Former Nebraska tight end. He kept getting hurt. We drafted a tight end who tore his ACL twice. And we expected him to be healthy.
Dead Taker saying he's a sleeper pick. If he stays healthy, maybe.
You drafted an injured tight end and expect him to be healthy. You don't draft previously injured people in the NFL. Injured people in college stay injured in the NFL. Yeah. It was a 7th round pick, so it made no difference. So I don't really care. It's a 7th round pick. Not all 7th round picks are Brock Purdy. They're throwaway picks. So he means nothing to me. Thomas Fidone won't stop me from upgrading the tight end position.
Yeah.
So that's what I expect John to do. You have power, John. You get $20 million a year. You got the same structure you got in Baltimore. I expect playoffs.
We have a quote from Harbaugh that he gave to ESPN.
Yeah.
He said, "This is the New York Giants. I'm proud and honored to be the head coach of this historic franchise, and especially excited to work with the Mara and Tisch families. But most of all, I can't wait to get started with the great players on this football team to see what we can accomplish together." The great players, Faris.
We have one great player. 2. It's our left tackle and Brian Burns, and that's it. Dexter Lawrence, he's too inconsistent for me to call him a great player. He's a very good player. Great, I don't know about that. Inconsistency, that's not what greatness is. You can't be inconsistent and be great. Andrew Thomas and Brian Burns, consistent. They're great players. Outside of them two, what the hell are you talking about? You have a second-year quarterback going. You're going to have a second-year quarterback. And here's the thing, too. He played very good in his rookie year. So did C.J. Stroud. What did C.J. Stroud do in his second year? Nothing. What is C.J. Stroud doing now? Nothing. The man had
three turnovers in a playoff game is what C.J. Stroud's doing now.
He's lucky that
defense bailed him out.
He's lucky that his defense is full of psychopaths.
His defense and Pittsburgh's ineptitude on offense in that game bailed him out.
Because if he commits 3 turnovers against New England wins.
Yeah, for sure. CJ looked really nervous in that game, so he's going to have to not be nervous against New England. Yeah. But that's not the point we're here to talk about.
So we'll see about the development by Jackson Dart, because here's the thing, too. Brian Daboll, not a very good head coach. Very good offensive coordinator and QB developer.
Yeah.
Now you get rid of that guy, and you have John Harbaugh. Who's he going to be the offensive coordinator to help Jackson Dart?
That will be interesting. That will be very interesting, because you need someone who can develop him, because Harbaugh is not that guy.
Because what does he do?
Exactly.
What does he do?
So you guys had done in-person interviews with Mike Kafka, Mike McCarthy, Raheem Morris, Kevin Stefanski, and Antonio Pierce. And you did like Zoom call interviews, virtual interviews with Colts defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, Broncos defensive coordinator Vance Joseph, and Denver assistant head coach / special teams coordinator Darren Rizzi.
Yeah. They were all sham interviews.
It has to, yeah.
They're all shams. They're all, they're all like me and Caleb talked about. We talked about it earlier about like they put the minority coaches in a bad spot because you gotta you know it's a sham.
You have to interview them, but yeah, you know it's a sham interview.
You know it's like they know it's a sham, but Caleb was like, oh, but they put their name out there, so that don't mean they're gonna get anything.
It can help.
It can.
Younger coaches,
maybe
just like establishing a reputation that like, okay, I'm good enough to interview for head coaching positions.
Mike Kafka,
even if I don't get it right now.
Mike Kafka did that in his first year in New York. He interviewed for Seattle. He interviewed for Tampa Bay. He didn't get them. They went,
didn't get them. Yeah.
But
like I think that can help younger coaches.
Yeah.
But like
Antonio Pierce, Raheem Morris.
When you know that the minority coaches that you're interviewing have no shot at the job, it completely violates like the soul of the Rooney Rule to me.
Yeah. No, it is. They're all shams.
This is why Brian Flores is suing the NFL.
This is why because guess who was the catalyst for that lawsuit, Adelia?
The Giants.
The New York Giants.
Yeah.
They were the catalyst for that lawsuit.
Yeah.
Because they told Brian Daboll, you got the job, before they interviewed Brian Flores.
Yeah.
because Bill Belichick found out Brian Daboll got the job and texted the wrong Brian.
Yep.
And no offense, I don't think Bill Belichick is that stupid. I think he did that on purpose, and thank God he did.
Yeah.
Because ain't no way.
I mean, there's a lot about Bill Belichick that tells me he's probably that stupid, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah, it's true. But that's what I'm saying, man. Like literally, they're all sham interviews.
Yeah.
They're all shams. They're all shams. Who's the offensive coordinator? Because John Harbaugh don't know how to coach.
Who's the defensive coordinator? That's a big thing too.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Anthony Weaver. And there it is, right there. Another bad mistake. So he had Anthony Weaver on his team. You know?
Yeah.
That's not true. Your facts are wrong. Stop spreading lies. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sunil. Thank you, though.
Yeah, tell me what I got wrong.
If it's the Rooney reel.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican. But he was within the organization.
That's the thing.
Yeah, he was within the organization, so he doesn't count. It has to be someone outside the organization. Anthony Weaver, Denard Wilson, and Zach Orr were all on the defensive coaching staff with Mike Macdonald. Mike Macdonald goes to Seattle. He has to pick between them three. He picks Zach Orr. And the defense goes downward. It goes downward.
By a lot.
Yeah. They go from top 5 to 8 and 9th. Yeah. He'd only been a coach for 3 years, Adelia.
Yeah.
He was their defensive analyst. Then he coached in, I think, Carolina for a year. Then he came back here to coach for 2 years. And then he became the defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? Now I want to know what fact that I got wrong. Stop spreading lies. I want to know. You tell me. If I did get something wrong, I'll correct it. Because unlike other people who just die on the wrong take, I won't die on that if I got something wrong. Yeah, I heard Todd Monken's gonna come, and you know what? We'll see if Todd Monken's gonna come. There were some moments with Todd Monken that sometimes Derrick Henry had over 100 yards in the first half against it was a couple weeks ago. I don't know who it was against. And then they stopped running him in the second half, and they lost that game. You know what I mean? There's been moments where they have a hot hand and they go away from it in Baltimore Ravens. In the Baltimore Ravens games. You know what I mean? People are making fun of Baltimore Ravens fans. They're like, "Oh, get ready to learn about how awful it is out here because you had a coach for 18 years." Yeah, their standards were, we want another Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They won another Super Bowl, but they kept failing.
Yolanda would like you to take Fale and Voorhees.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You keep them. They can stay there. That's what did Taker. Okay, Dead Taker wasn't talking to me. He was talking to Yolanda. I agree, Dead Taker. Y'all can keep them. Y'all can keep them. It was the Patriots game. I think,
Pay the Bill saying he doubts Monken will work with Harbs again. Jeremy saying it was the Patriots game, I think.
See, there it is. They had the Patriots on the ropes, Adelia. Derrick Henry was running all over them. He had over 100 yards in the first half. Second half comes around, he gets 5 touches.
Yeah.
And there was a moment
that's concerning.
And there's a moment where there was another game where they take him out of the game and say, "Oh, we want Keaton Mitchell in the game." Or Sheen Ali in the game. I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not happening. And listen to about Todd Monken, right? There was a report a couple of weeks ago where it said Todd Monken, him and Lamar had issues.
Yeah.
Not Lamar and John. But then Lamar Jackson, LJ Entertainment, Lamar Jackson's entertainment channel, said lies to the Todd Monken report. Mm-hmm. You don't do that without Lamar Jackson say so. So Lamar Jackson telling you that's BS.
Yeah.
So someone's lying in Baltimore. It's just a bunch of liars. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So who's lying? Is LJ telling you?
Saying Monken's 60 years old. He will gladly work with Harbs again.
I don't know why you would.
Yeah. Yes, Yolanda. Let's go Broncos.
To be quite honest with you, man, it's 5 years, getting $20 million a year, $100 million. That contract says, I like how the guy who called me a liar stopped talking and he didn't tell me why I lied because he knows he's bullshitting. I got time today.
I know, but we don't have that much time because we have the watch along of the Broncos game in half an hour.
Yeah.
Or in 20 minutes. But I think that he might have been referring to the whole Flores thing with why he's suing the NFL.
Literally.
And that we were lying about what happened there. So who knows?
Yeah, well, he's an idiot. So that's literally what happened.
Yeah.
If you followed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anthony Weaver is a front runner for defensive coordinator. LOL, they tried to scapegoat Munkin. Davon, he mentioned it in his last video, Run the Evidence Council. Mentioned what? I don't know.
I don't know who mentioned it, but shout out to the Evidence Council. But let me point it out. Let me end. We're gonna end the stream real quick. We're only gonna be here for a couple more minutes. You're a coach who gets 5 years, $20 million a year, $100 million. That contract states, I want playoffs every year, and I want a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't get any of that within these 5 years, it's a failure. It's a failure. Because here's the thing, Adelia.
Did Taker once my old high school classmate is your OC. I don't know how you feel about that.
I would like that, but the problem is he's not. If he let's say works out here and he balls out, he leaves the next year. Because he's interviewing for head coaching jobs this year.
Yeah.
So the reason hiring him, I will also be rooting for the Denver Broncos. Hiring him, that's why he's not going to get a lot of offensive coordinator jobs. It's because they know he's going to leave after a year if he coaches very well.
Gets a head coaching job, yeah.
Exactly. So he's going to leave. In the NFL, you can quickly change a team around, Adelia. Look what Chicago did.
Exactly.
Look what Chicago did. And we're talking about a first-year head coach. We're talking about a first-year head coach. He got Chicago in the divisional round.
We're talking Seattle. I mean, it's McDonald's second year, but like
first overall seed. They went.
They're doing this with Sam Darnold.
They're doing this with Sam Darnold.
Jay's right. The Jaguars.
The Jaguars. They won their division. But now this is an 18-year head coach experience. 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
Liam Cohen first year. Ben Johnson first year. Mike McDonald second year. This is an 18-year head coach. 5 years, $100 million. I want playoffs every year, and I want a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And if I get none of that, you wasted $100 million.
Yeah. Dead Taker saying Jackson Dart MVP next year with Monk and book it.
And he's laughing. He's laughing.
I know he's laughing.
Yeah.
But...
Hopefully.
I mean, we've seen this. We saw Drake May's rookie season, and then look at the season Drake May's having now. Just like it's possible to turn this around. You guys have to draft better. You have to sign free agency better. I wonder
also too,
if like this is not just what the Giants need in like somebody who has experience as a head coach coming in, as opposed to being like a first time head coach coming into the situation, but also something that Harbaugh needs, because 19 years or however long it was in the same job is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you lose the players, even though you're not necessarily doing something wrong. I'm not saying that was the case with Harbaugh in Baltimore, but sometimes you just lose the players because they've heard this message over and over and over for 2 decades. They're ready to move on to a different message. It'll be interesting to see how the Giants players respond to what probably will be the same kind of message coming from Harbaugh.
We'll see. We'll see how he operates with Malik Neighbors. Because he doesn't really...
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Him and strong personalities, they tend to leave Baltimore real quickly. Yeah. I don't know why they got rid of Marcus Peters, even though they needed cornerbacks who got turnovers. But Marcus Peters found his way out the door. He couldn't handle him.
Mm-hmm.
You know? All I'll say is this, man. All I'll say is this, Adelia. With Mike Vrabel, they did draft well. But they spent very well in free agency. They spent on Robert Spillane, Christian Ellis, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
They knew how to spend well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if John Harbaugh has the same thing. We'll go. So Dark Taker says we'll go 8-9 next year, then make the playoffs after that. Too many holes to fix with only $20-30 million in cap. Well, you know what?
I
You
mean
then draft better.
that might be the case.
You
You've got to
restructure stuff.
draft well then. Yeah, you got to draft well.
You draft well. You restructure. You can find money in this cap. Yeah, you can. You can find money. You can find money. Trust me. You know, the cap is there, but you can find money if you know how to restructure, you know how to move money around, if you have a cap specialist. Because the problem is Patrick Queen left. Yep. Patrick Queen was also, you know, a lot of people didn't like him. Also, too, Tim McDonald, who's the nephew of John Mara, and Chris Mara are now leading the team. And unfortunately, they're fireproof because they're family. Yeah. George Young famously said, nobody in the personnel departments should ever be fireproof. So if the hang up for this long period, because this has been going on for 4 days, Adelia.
I know.
Because of language. It's because he's like, you're fireproof. And you're running the team. And here's the thing too. If he's, you know, if the one benefit from John Harbaugh coming into this team is him telling us he shouldn't be anywhere near this team, talking to Tim McDonald and Chris, neither one of them should be near this team because they're not good at their jobs. I'll accept that. Because they shouldn't be nowhere near this team. Because every story you hear of Chris Mara, who took over the negotiation, Adelia, is how he's a petulant child.
Yeah.
And he's 60.
Yep.
He's 60. Exactly. See, that's how you save money right here. You cut Graham Gano, you cut Jalen Hyatt, you cut Evan Neal. You just saved about $10 million there. Bobby Okereke. But here's the thing about Bobby Okereke. You signed him for Wink Martindale's scheme, and then you bring in John Harbaugh, who's going to bring in Anthony Weaver, who has the same-ish scheme. Some Wink Martindale, some Mike McDonald. So wouldn't Bobby fit this scheme if you signed Bobby for Wink's scheme? That's the thing. Yeah. But if you cut him, you save a lot of money, though. You know? Yep. Jackson can't. Well, a lot of people say Lamar Jackson bailed him out, and he did. He bailed him out a lot of times because Lamar Jackson is special. He's special. Yeah. You know what I mean? And people talk about like, oh, you know, Greg Roman got him a MVP. So Tom, Lamar Jackson hired a personal QB coach, and he works in the offseason. It's just that unlike other people, other athletes, you know, he's not filming his workouts every day. He's just working out. You know, because people assume if it's not documented, it never happened.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. Like I'm gonna reiterate, Adelia. I'm gonna reiterate, and we'll head out. 5 years, $100 million means playoffs, Super Bowl. That's all I have to say. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. We got I think a lot of people in here compared to what we normally get right now. So thank you all for joining us. Appreciate it. If you're interested in more of Ferris's thoughts on the New York Giants, you can find them on the Good Friends Better Rivals podcast. That's Fridays, 5 p.m. Pacific. There was just an episode yesterday. Go back and watch that. Then subscribe to the channel. Come on back and watch them on next Friday, because I'm sure Ferris and Caleb will have a great discussion on that. For anyone interested, in about 15 minutes, we're going to have a live Steel Conspiracy watch along of the Bills and the Broncos. I am very nervous about my Broncos. Everybody keeps telling me not to be, but I am. This one's a good one from Ear Hustler, by the way. Just one last one. Player development, good coordinators should help turn things around. That will help. But
we'll have to trust them to hire the right ones.
Yeah, will that happen? Anyways, thank you everyone for joining us. I'm gonna go finish my lunch and then do the stream. Maybe Ferris will join us for that and rant some more about the Giants. You're welcome to if you want to. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you next time.
Peace
Bye.
out, y'all.